You smell something?
Skunk Works. A group with a high degree of autonomy and unhampered by bureaucracy. This is Skunk Works.
You can watch the Skunk Works Show live right now at skunkworkshow.com.
The Skunk Works Show, powered by Iron Laboratories.
Welcome. I'm your host today, Ryan. You're listening to the Skunk Works Show. Sitting in with me today is Karina and Danielle from the 420 Nurses group. I've also got Chelsea, our news girl, of course, and Alicia is here to do our rundown. You can watch the Skunk Works Show every Saturday from 4 to 5 at skunkworkshow.com. That's right, you can watch us every Saturday at the skunkworkshow.com. Let's see. We have a full tray for you today. Here's Alicia with the rundown.
Hi, I'm Alicia. On today's show we have the news, a new 420 song of the week, Man on the Street. In studio with us today, a couple of lovely 420 nurses. And we have Adam DeVaney, who holds a master's degree in social work from Grand Valley State University, and Ben Horner, who is a certified chef and a cannabis business entrepreneur.
All right, so we do have a full tray, don't we? Alicia, thank you as always. If you'll pass the rundown sheet over, and thank you very much. Pass that mic back over to Chelsea.
Absolutely.
And let's talk about some cool things. We, of course, have two nice ladies in here with us today. Why don't you say hi real quick, ladies? Just give us a, see? Don't they sound nice? What's going on, Chelsea? It's, once again, we're coming to the last little bit of summer. We got the Bridge Walk coming up in next week. We've got the Grand Traverse. What is that? What is the name of this event?
The 8th Michigan Medical Marijuana Conference is in Traverse City, so we're gearing up for that.
Archie's Joint?
Yep. Why Not Sanctuary? There'll be a big Michigan Normal gathering up north on that Saturday, so lots to do.
That's awesome. I'm kind of split, to be honest with you. It's all fun stuff, but it also means that summer is winding down.
Yes.
There's no more beach, boat.
Yes, but it's
warm.
the last hurrah, really. It's a great time.
It's bittersweet, I guess, is the way I would say it. What are you guys looking forward to for the fall? The two ladies here, the 420 nurses. Are you guys summer people, fall people? What's your favorite season?
For Halloween.
I love Halloween, but it's only one day. It's a great warm-up, but...
Haunted houses. Yeah, they last a couple weeks.
Do you guys do Cedar Point?
Yes. Yeah.
Halloween is the best time. Have you ever done a Halloween?
I have not, no.
That is, I'm telling you what, I've been doing Cedar Point since, I wasn't even born yet in my family. I mean, they're just traditional. So I've been going to Cedar Point for 40-some years.
So do the roller coasters actually go backwards?
No, that's all rumor and conjecture.
Oh, apparently I'm gullible and I still believe it.
Now, here's where that rumor came from. Just, Six Flags, everybody knows of the Six Flags organization. Mm-hmm. They would do that at their Magic Mountain out in California, and I believed in Chicago. Some of their places they would do that, and that's where the rumor got started.
That'd be a blast.
Yeah, sure. I'm sure there's some safety issues there. What's really weird is if you guys have been tracking the news this summer, there has been more accidents on roller coasters and those types of rides than I ever remember in my whole life. So it's like, whew, crazy.
Maybe I don't want to go this year.
Yeah, it might be the year to skip, go there for Halloween weekends and fall off a coaster. We're going to jump into break. We'll be back in 2 minutes, 30 seconds, and we're going to kick it out with the 420 nurses and see what they're up to, where they've been, where they're going, and just talk about it. See you in a minute.
Watch the Skunk Works Show live on skunkworkshow.com.
The Skunk Works Show, powered by Iron Laboratories.
At Iron Laboratories, our mission is to apply the highest scientific standards to the testing of medical marijuana and derivative cannabis-based products. Iron Laboratories achieves this through the strict application of and adherence to methodologies that have been developed in research, regulatory, and academic settings. Consumer safety directs everything we do at Iron Laboratories. Our role as providers of product information to patients, caregivers, and producers is critical. The purity of the medicines that you put in your body is critically important, and we value the trust you put in us to evaluate and accurately report on these products. In addition, Iron Laboratories will continue to contribute to the industry knowledge base, setting benchmarks and establishing norms to create safer cannabis products. Give us a call at 248-313-9000 or visit our website at ironlaboratories.com. Again, that's 248-313-9000, ironlaboratories.com.
Folks, here's some food for thought. Every year, over 400,000 people die of illness related to tobacco use. Over 80,000 die from alcohol use. Over 30,000 die from reactions related to prescription medication. And more than 7,000 people die from the use of anti-inflammatory drugs such as aspirin. Aspirin. Do you know how many die from the use of marijuana? 0. No deaths can be directly linked to the use of cannabis. That makes it one of the safest substances available for medical use. Michigan Organic Solutions, Flint's premier medical marijuana consultants, is now offering compassionate doctor referrals. Get licensed for only $99. You only pay if you qualify. No medical records are required. Located at 3549 South North Highway, Suite 117, just across from the Dord Mall. Call 810-820-8953 or go online to make your appointment at www.miorganicsolutions.com. Consultations are free and your privacy is guaranteed. Log on now to www.miorganicsolutions.com.
The first Bibles, maps, charts, Betsy Ross's flag, the first drafts of the Declaration of Independence, and the Constitution were made from hemp.
Amen! 2 Steps Higher, your old school head shop, has your full selection of smoking needs. Water pipes, hand pipes, concentrate accessories, vaporizers, rolling papers, detox products, women's clothing, t-shirts, disc golf, skateboards, and hookahs, bitch! Check us out online at 2stepshigher.com or give us a call, 655-0032.
The Skunk Works Show, powered by Iron Laboratories.
Attention all units, this is Sergeant Stadenko. Attention all units, this is Sergeant Stadenko. We are changing from a Code 3 direct pursuit to a Code 347. Completely lost due to incompetence.
All right, we are back, and I'm sitting here with Karina. Yeah, I'm going to hack their names. I told them that, so they're prepared. And Danielle. They're new members of the 420 nurse staff.
Yeah.
As anybody knows, a couple weeks ago we were with Brianna and Katie. So I'm going to ask these ladies to explain why they want to be 420 nurses and how they got involved. So whoever wants to take the lead, feel free.
Alrighty. Well, I want to be a 420 nurse because I just want to be involved in like the cannabis community and help promote like a positive image for it and just kind of be a face of it.
Nice.
Yeah.
How did you hear about or discover 420 nurses?
Well, I actually met Bree at the Denver Cannabis Cup, and she gave me a card and said, you know, go check us out, join it, see if you like it. So got back to Michigan and joined it.
So were you in Denver for the Cannabis Cup?
Yeah.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Is just a general person? Are you in the cannabis industry in another way, shape, or form? Or were you just out there for fun?
I kind of just went out there for fun, see like what opportunities were out there. I worked at a couple of dispensaries in the Detroit area, and now I'm at a hydro store.
Nice.
So I just want to see what else was out there.
All right, Danielle, go ahead and let me know what your experience was. How'd you get involved with 420 nurses?
I seen the 420 nurses on Instagram actually, and I did a lot of research on them and looked them up and became a part of it and got a hold of Bree actually, and we were talking and she wanted me to become a part of it, so I signed up and got my kit and
you're in.
Yep.
Nice. What do your families think? I mean, you know, I'll be honest with you. I've been involved with cannabis since I was about 16 years old, and it did not go well when it first was noticed by my mother. But, you know, let's call it 20-some years later, just because I'll be generous to myself. You know, now she helps and supports my show and believes that cannabis is a good thing and it should be legalized. So what did your parents, I mean, were they cool with it? Did you tell them?
Like, growing up, they, you know, they don't want you to go out and drink and do, like, the smoking and all that stuff. But my mom and dad smoked for years, and my dad still smokes. But when I told them about it, you know, like I told them it's modeling and advertising and do all that stuff. And, of course, your parents and grandma, and they always want you to be a model.
Because
so
you're so beautiful.
They heard, exactly. So they heard the only model part, and they're like, oh, you're a model. And I was like, not exactly, but yes, kind of.
I get to smoke a lot of medicine.
Exactly. But, yeah, they support me, and they like it. They really like me that I get to go out and experience the stuff that we get to do with the 420 nurses.
As young ladies, I highly recommend that all young ladies go out and, you know, kind of feel what life's all about and experience things that maybe, you know, they didn't have an opportunity to do as younger ladies, and they're not going to have an opportunity. This is not something you're going to do in your 50s and 60s. Mm-hmm. You're in your prime. This is the time to become whatever it is that you want to experience and try it and taste it and touch it, and, you know, so.
If you don't like it, don't do it, and if you like it, keep going.
Absolutely.
Do what you want to do.
I have followed 420 Nurses for about 2 months now on Facebook because there's chapters everywhere, as you guys know. And, you know, some of the chapters seem to be a little more wild and a little more racy, and some of them seem to be a little more, you know, I wouldn't say classy, you know, but maybe classy is a good word because, you know, I don't think you need to shake your goods in front of everybody.
Like we were talking about, she wanted our chapter, like, kind of like the pinup, like, look, you know, not so
trashy.
Yeah, you're definitely modest, I would say.
Yeah,
right.
And classy, you know.
Well, I don't need to see your goodies.
I was going to say, like, that's, and, like, them are, like, some of the first pictures I seen when I, like, came about the 420 nurses.
Right.
Were, like, the nude girls, like, with just, like, little 420 nurses over their boobs or something.
Or
you know?
marijuana leaves over, and it's like, wow, what kind of...
I don't really want to be like that. And, like, that's what my fiancé, he was like, do you have to dress like those girls? I'm like, no, I don't have to.
But I like it. No.
No, I was like, no, you don't have to, and Bree don't want us to be that look. She wants us to have that more classy
I'll be honest with you. I would much rather chase, you know, the fantasy of something than to just have it displayed. Once I already seen it, well, whatever.
What's there,
It's like, seen that, next. So, nope, I definitely can see where,
she wants us to be more...
Leave more to the imagination.
Yeah, more modest.
What's your feeling, Karina, on this? I mean, what does your family have to say about it?
Well, my family isn't quite as understanding about it as it is. They're very...
Traditional.
Conservative, yeah.
Traditional is a nice
they've
way.
definitely opened up more, but not quite.
Okay.
Not quite there yet.
Well, you know, I think they see that it's not a harm and it's actually a plus.
Yeah.
I mean, you know,
it's not a drug,
you probably won't make millions of dollars being a 420 nurse. Let's not fool anybody.
Yeah.
But the opportunities and the connections that you're going to make are going to lead you down the path that you should follow. Because I'm a firm believer that we follow the paths we're supposed to follow. And sometimes we may divert ourselves or get off those paths, but you always seem to be rooted back to where you're supposed to be. You get what you're supposed to get, you get what you need, and you're where you're supposed to be. That's the way things work. And when you fight the power, sometimes your life doesn't go as well. So for your parents, I would say, you know, there's nothing to worry about. She's going to be fine. And for your parents, I say, right on! Because, you know, it's a good thing for both of you. I don't see a harm. There's a lot worse things you guys could definitely be doing.
We're healers, not dealers, you know?
Absolutely.
Well, we want to get the medicine out there. We don't want to, you know, make it come off as something bad. We want to, like, have people learn about it and, you know,
absolutely.
give them input on what the medicine is about.
It's like positive advocacy with a pretty face.
Absolutely.
You can't go wrong with that.
We're the largest women's activist group in Michigan, in the state, actually. So.
That's very cool. Fantastic. Nice. You know, we're burning through our clock. We have to do some news, so we're going to have the ladies sit in as long as they want to. But right now we need to get over to Chelsea with the Triple M sponsored news. So, Chelsea, take it away. Let's see what we have new for today.
Thank you. I'm going to start with info on the city of Livonia. Livonia, Michigan is looking to ban medical marijuana dispensaries. Like I said, they are looking to keep medical marijuana dispensaries or centers out of their community by approving an emergency ordinance The Livonia City Council voted on Monday to amend a city ordinance banning dispensaries, newly coined provisioning centers. This is the first wave of communities that have used the language within House Bill 4271 to opt out of a provisioning center in their community. It is currently on the Senate floor, and the concern is that if it were to pass and we didn't have this ordinance in place and one would open up, it would be a pre-existing, non-conforming use, and we couldn't regulate them, claims Don Knapp, Livonia City Attorney. The Livonia ordinance bans the transfer or sale of marijuana, medical or otherwise, by an individual or business to another individual within the city. Livonia's ordinance on banning all substances under federal law, including medical marijuana, was rendered unenforceable earlier this year by the Michigan Supreme Court. A similar scenario, such as the city of Wyoming, are lingering for Livonia as well, where the appellate courts in turn ruled that the ban was a violation of the Michigan Medical Marijuana Act. So stay tuned on more info on Livonia. Hopefully the citizens will come forth and take action into their own hands and maybe put it to the city council that they absolutely have a right to have their dispensaries.
I see Sniffer bouncing around. He's going to be in your mic in a second.
Oh, well, that's all right. I think that's the most important news, at least for Michigan
right
anyway.
Now.
So
it's funny, though, that they are preempting, something that isn't even a law or a rule
and,
yet.
there are reports that, they're waiting on Senate changes to maybe clarify that issue.
Right.
So we'll see.
Yeah, we'll see how it plays out.
Stay tuned.
We have a new 420 song, as always, so you guys need to jump on the phones right now. It's 810-743-TALK. 810-743-8255. We got a vape pen sitting here with your name on it. All you got to do is tell me what last week's 420 song was. And we've got Ozzy coming for you right now, so kick back, enjoy your 420.
Submit your request for a 420 Song of the Week at skunkworkshow.com.
The Skunk Works Show, powered by Iron Laboratories.
Folks, here's some food for thought. Every year, over 400,000 people die of illness related to tobacco use. Over 80,000 die from alcohol use. Over 30,000 die from reactions related to prescription medication. And more than 7,000 people die from the use of anti-inflammatory drugs such as aspirin. Aspirin. Do you know how many die from the use of marijuana? 0. No deaths can be directly linked to the use of cannabis. That makes it one of the safest substances available for medical use. Michigan Organic Solutions, Flint's premier medical marijuana consultants, is now offering compassionate doctor referrals. Get licensed for only $99. You only pay if you qualify. No medical records are required. Located at 3549 South Road Highway, Suite 117, just across from the Dord Mall. Call 810-820-8953 or go online to make your appointment at www.miorganicsolutions.com. Consultations are free and your privacy is guaranteed. Log on now to www.miorganicsolutions.com.
Did you know that hemp is a sister plant to marijuana, but it won't get you high?
What the man? 2 Steps Higher, your old school head shop, has your full selection of smoking needs. Water pipes, hand pipes, concentrate accessories, vaporizers, rolling papers, detox products, women's clothing, t-shirts, disc golf, skateboards, and hookahs, bitch. Check us out online at twostepshigher.com or give us a call, 655-0032.
At Iron Laboratories, our mission is to apply the highest scientific standards to the testing of medical marijuana and derivative cannabis-based products. Iron Laboratories achieves this through the strict application of and adherence to methodologies that have been developed in research, regulatory, and academic settings. Consumer safety directs everything we do at Iron Laboratories. Our role as providers of product information to patients, caregivers, and producers is critical. The purity of the medicines that you put in your body is critically important, and we value the trust you put in us to evaluate and accurately report on these products. In addition, Iron Laboratories will continue to contribute to the industry knowledge base, setting benchmarks and establishing norms to create safer cannabis products. Give us a call at 248-313-9000 or visit our website at ironlaboratories.com. Again, that's 248-313-9000, ironlaboratories.com.
The Skunk Works Show, powered by Iron Laboratories.
Attention all units, attention all units, this is Sergeant Stadenko. Attention all units, this is Sergeant Stadenko. We are changing from a Code 3 direct pursuit to a Code 347. Completely lost due to incompetence.
Well, all right, that was the 420 song. Write that down. You got to find the name for yourself, because if I give it to you, I might as well just come to your house and give you a vape pen. And I'm not Santa Claus, although I do like Santa Claus. I am not him. I'm fat like him, though. We've got Man on the Street coming up for you. I was in Windsor just Tuesday this week.
I'm so interested to hear what they say, especially with Canada's issues lately.
Well, what's funny is you used to be able to say cannabis and weed in Canada, and people would talk to you, and a lot of people ran away from us. So check it out.
We do a radio show in Flint called the Skunk Works Show.
Skunk Work?
Skunk Works Show.
Skunk. Animal.
That's right.
Got
Absolutely.
it.
Turn down for what?
I'm downtown Windsor. In the backdrop, you see Detroit, and I am standing with
Brenda Berry Gerard.
How are you today?
I'm wonderful. I'm just out on my walk.
I'm going to assume, since we're in Windsor, that you live here in Windsor.
I do live here in Windsor.
I'm from Michigan. I do a radio show called the Skunk Works Show on WFNT in Flint, Michigan. The reason we're over here today is we're talking to Canadians about medical marijuana. Do you know anything about the medical marijuana program in Canada?
I know a little bit about it. If the people need it that have medical conditions, then I do believe in it. But I can see what's going to happen is they legalize that over here, and we're going to have people at work high and delirious all the time, and there's nothing that anybody can do about it because they need proof that this person is high and delirious. I do work at Met Hospital, and I see a lot there, and I see people there that had just smoked pot and went into work. There's nothing that they can do about it because they have no proof that this person is high.
I see. That is definitely a concern. We do not advocate people being high at work or driving or doing anything that you should be sober for. In the States, I'm sure you've noticed that Colorado and Washington are two states that have legalized marijuana for recreational use for people 21 and over. It looks like there's going to be a handful more of those states. Do you see that Canada's probably going to follow that lead and make it recreational for anyone 21 and over?
I really hope that they don't, but if they do, everybody needs to be cautious of these people that are going to be high and delirious.
Safety first is what we always try to, say first. If you want to use cannabis, you should do it when you're on your downtime or your relaxed time. We never advocate that anybody uses cannabis at work or driving or doing anything that could endanger other people. So if people are responsible, do you think that would be a little bit easier to tolerate for you?
To be honest with you, I have a lot of friends and I know a lot of people that smoke pot. Me, I don't smoke pot. I did try it one time. No, I don't like it. I don't like the feeling.
Thank you very much for your time. I'm still in Windsor. It's a beautiful summer day, and I'm standing with
Bruce.
Bruce, where are you from?
Windsor.
How long have you lived here in Canada?
30 years.
We're talking about marijuana today. In the United States, we've got two states that have recreational marijuana. We have 22 states that have medical marijuana. What's your opinion about medical marijuana here in Canada?
Oh, well, as far as I'm concerned, it's the same thing. That's what I think. I mean, people are growing marijuana all the time. I have friends that grow their own marijuana. And I don't know if it's medical or regular, recreational. I don't see anything wrong with smoking a joint occasionally, like having the odd beer or something. I'm an alcoholic. I haven't drank for 37 years, but I used to drink. So, when I could get alcohol, I drank alcohol. So but if marijuana, if they don't legalize it, everybody would be growing it. And they have to test it to see if it's the difference between recreational and medical. I think you're going to have half the country high all the time.
Well, you see in the United States that it is happening. It looks like it is going to become legalized. If you think they legalize it in the United States, Canada will follow?
You never know. You really don't know. I mean, we're trying to get people to quit smoking in Canada. Now we're moving to a new drug. I just think that it needs to be sold like a liquor store. Not in a grocery store, but in a liquor store.
Under a controlled environment for people 21 and over.
That's right. That's right. It's like if you have your own still, you're in trouble. If you grow your own marijuana, I think you should be in trouble.
Thank you very much for your time.
Okay, you're welcome.
Thank you, sir. This is Ryan reporting for the Skunk Works Show. We're in downtown Windsor, and I'm standing with
Chuck.
Chuck, how you doing today?
I'm doing good, thanks.
We're over here today talking to people about marijuana. In the United States, 2 states have already legalized recreational marijuana for 21 and over. A handful of states are going to vote that way this November. How do you think that's going to affect the policies here in Canada, if at all?
Well, I'm sure they're going to be looking at that. And I think I just heard on the news there not long ago, they're considering on doing some grow-ops here too. So just legalize it and be done with it.
We're headed to Vancouver in 3 weeks. In British Columbia, I understand that they have cafes and there's already a marijuana trade or retail market. Do you know anything about that?
I've heard about that. Yeah, sure. That's probably like Colorado for the states. BC would be Colorado for us.
If people are using cannabis recreationally and they're responsible, you don't have an issue with it?
What? No, not at all. Not at all. Smart thing to do is let the government control it, sell it. You sell it to 18 or whatever above. Do your laws on it and tax the hell out of it. It's a natural plant, grows for nothing. Tax it, the government makes a fortune off it.
Thank you very much for your time.
This is Skunk Works.
Legalize it and be done with it.
Everybody needs to be cautious of these people that are going to be high and delirious.
Well, there you go. That was another entertaining man on the street. I know that people enjoy that. If they don't like anything else about the show, people do like that. So that's why we keep doing it. We have 2 guests today. So I'm going to introduce them now, and we'll see how this goes. I have Adam DeVaney. He holds a master's degree in social work from Grand Valley State University here in Michigan. We also have Mr. Ben Horner, who's a certified chef and a cannabis entrepreneur. Gentlemen, one at a time, welcome to the show and say hello. Adam?
Thanks for having us.
Are you here, Ben? I know I got Adam, but I didn't hear Ben. How's everything? How you doing, Adam?
I'm doing well. I appreciate being on the show.
Yeah, I'm happy to have you. I'm not sure that we have Ben. I've shouted out his name a couple times. In the meantime, I would like to just start with you explaining a little bit about who you are and what you currently do in the cannabis industry.
Sure. I'm the Assistant Clinical Director for a medical marijuana certification and pain management center here in Traverse City. And we service about 5 counties in our area because it's more of a rural environment.
Right.
And one of the things that we've also found is that, of course, our patients do suffer from discrimination in the medical system. So we have picked up a few patients who were being treated for pain by other doctors, but then fired because they tested positive for marijuana. But otherwise, we work with the city on local zoning issues relating to marijuana and marijuana businesses and growing. And we just are patient advocates that put ourselves out there every day in an industry that is full of very interesting things.
Right on. Were we able to get Ben on the line? Is he with us yet? No, he's not with us. Okay. The reason that I have Adam on today is there's a web serve list called Safer Mish Coalition, and there has been an ongoing battle in this. Would you agree with that statement, Adam, that there's been an ongoing battle on the Safer Mish Coalition?
You know, I try not to use military terms like battle, but
Okay.
There's definitely been some disagreement.
An ongoing discussion.
Yeah.
Let's say that. An ongoing discussion on proper ways to certify patients, which is, you know, an important topic to people here in Michigan because we're not a recreational state. We're a medical marijuana state. And to participate in that program, you want to be as safe as possible and follow the rules to the best of your ability, because even people that have done that have still found themselves in trouble. Would that be accurate?
Absolutely. People can play by the rules in the letter of the law and still find themselves in front of a judge at a pretrial or even a jury hearing.
And you know, that's the thing, is people do end up in those situations, and even though they did everything they should have done, followed the procedures, did the right steps, they still end up in the courtroom. And a lot of times, you know, my understanding is even with your card and having, you know, all the proper credentials, sometimes you don't even get to have the defense of a medical marijuana patient. Is that true?
That's true. With the under the guidance of the Attorney General here in Michigan, prosecutors are quick to attack the bona fide doctor-patient relationship that
Hold on one second, Ben.
Is really at the core of all the defenses for the use of medical marijuana. If you will, it's the very foundation of all of the defenses. If you don't have that bona fide doctor-patient relationship, then you end up without a defense at all, and you end up going in front of a jury on marijuana charges without being able to mention medical marijuana.
Right. Ben did join us. He's with us now. Ben, I wanted to give you this opportunity to introduce yourself. I've introduced you as a certified chef and a cannabis entrepreneur. Take this time to kind of give our audience a little heads up on what you're currently doing in the cannabis industry.
Well, Ryan, thanks for having me on the show.
Absolutely.
You know, right now I've been working on some decriminalization efforts over the last 3 years on individual cities, legislation in Lansing with the Cannabis Stakeholders Group, and we have the Triple M Report magazine, which helps, you know, bring information to patients and caregivers around the state of Michigan for free. And coming up next week, we're going to be in Traverse City for our 8th annual Medical Marijuana Conference, where we help people by getting them educated, getting them legal, and helping them learn how to grow.
Gotcha. That's you know, that's great. You know, the way I see it is as many card holders as we can get in the state of Michigan. It just means that more votes are going to go our way. You know, this is an industry that needs all the support it can get. So I applaud your effort on getting people registered, signed up, and getting cards in hands, because I think that's an important thing. Patients need to do the best to their ability to have those cards and be legitimate patients. I know tons of people that I call my friends that use cannabis and they use it for medical purposes, but they refuse to get that card, which is beyond my thought process. So I applaud your efforts. The reason you guys are both here today is because there's an ongoing discussion about, I guess, the proper way to do certifications. So, Ben, give us a little idea of what you're doing this weekend at the Traverse City Resort, how people can get certified, and, you know, what that process entails.
Gotcha. Okay. Well, you know, things are always changing in the medical marijuana industry. The laws are you know, literally being drafted as we speak with current changes. But as we exist now, patients, you know, it's always best if they can see their primary care physician. They're able to see their primary care physician, they've already established a relationship with that doctor, that's great. But if they can't, then they've got to go to places like MOS Certifications, which is our company, or a company like Adam DeVaney's, Chronic Certifications LLC, and see a doctor that specializes in medical marijuana. Now, there's some debate about what is the best way to do that.
I'm going to put you on hold. We're headed to break, and I don't want you to hold that thought. We'll be right back.
The Skunk Works Show, powered by Iron Laboratories.
Did you know quality paints and varnishes were made from hemp seed oil until 1937?
How to tell if your girlfriend's a psycho.
I drink paint every day.
2 Steps Higher, your old school head shop, has your full selection of smoking needs. Water pipes, hand pipes, concentrate accessories, vaporizers, rolling papers, detox products, women's clothing, t-shirts, disc golf, skateboards, and hookahs, bitch! Check us out online at 2stepshigher.com or give us a call, 655-0032.
At Iron Laboratories, our mission is to apply the highest scientific standards to the testing of medical marijuana and derivative cannabis-based products. Iron Laboratories achieves this through the strict application of and adherence to methodologies that have been developed in research, regulatory, and academic settings. Consumer safety directs everything we do at Iron Laboratories. Our role as providers of product information to patients, caregivers, and producers is critical. The purity of the medicines that you put in your body is critically important, and we value the trust you put in us to evaluate and accurately report on these products. In addition, Iron Laboratories will continue to contribute to the industry knowledge base, setting benchmarks and establishing norms to create safer cannabis products. Give us a call at 248-313-9000 or visit our website at ironlaboratories.com. Again, that's 248-313-9000, ironlaboratories.com.
Folks, here's some food for thought. Every year, over 400,000 people die of illness related to tobacco use. Over 80,000 die from alcohol use. Over 30,000 die from reactions related to prescription medication. And more than 7,000 people die from the use of anti-inflammatory drugs such as aspirin. Aspirin. Do you know how many die from the use of marijuana? 0. No deaths can be directly linked to the use of cannabis. That makes it one of the safest substances available for medical use. Michigan Organic Solutions, Flint's premier medical marijuana consultants, is now offering compassionate doctor referrals. Get licensed for only $99. You only pay if you qualify. No medical records are required. Located at 3549 South Road Highway, Suite 117, just across from the Dord Mall. Call 810-820-8953 or go online to make your appointment at www.miorganicsolutions.com. Consultations are free and your privacy is guaranteed. Log on now to www.miorganicsolutions.com.
The Skunk Works Show, powered by Iron Laboratories.
Attention all units, this is Sergeant Stadenko. Attention all units, this is Sergeant Stadenko. We are changing from a Code 3 direct pursuit to a Code 347. Completely lost due to incompetence.
All right, we're back. Ben Horner was in the middle of a thought. I'm sorry, but we do have to pay bills from time to time, so if you want to pick up, that would be great.
Oh, well, I don't know where I was at, Ryan, but,
we were talking about certifications and what that process means and how you're going to do that function in the Traverse City Resort this weekend.
Okay, so patients need to bring in their medical records. If they don't have their medical records, they're going to sign a release and come back on Monday or Tuesday, and they get a full evaluation, and they only pay if they're qualified. They have to, have one of the qualifying conditions. We also have a therapist that can screen people for PTSD, and we follow a real strict standard of care, and we stand behind everyone that comes up to the conference to get certified.
Nice. All right, I'm going to switch over to Adam. Adam, you're still with us, right?
Yes.
All right. Now, you just heard Ben talk about the Traverse City event, people need to have, a qualifying condition. They have a couple different doctors, one, that will make sure you qualify with the condition. The other one is, able to qualify you for the I'm sorry, I think your mic's down. The PTSD letters always throw me off.
Post-traumatic stress.
So what would you say, what's the issue with what's going on? It sounds, I've heard this referred to as a card mill system. What would make you call it a card mill, or why you think it's a card mill system?
It's a system that is designed to see as many patients as possible. And while I certainly support medical centers seeing as many patients as they possibly can, sometimes when, it's a numbers game. When a staff and doctor are interacting with too many patients, sloppy workmanship is often the results. Last year, the medical center that I work for, we fixed dozens of applications and helped patients with just as many denial letters after the event last September. And these are just the ones that actually came to us. There was nobody from the sponsoring company here locally to assist them, so we stepped in and did that for the patients. And basically, experience has proven that conference certifications put patients at legal risk. Every single lawyer that represents medical marijuana patients has gone on record with that. And like I said earlier, prosecutors are quick to attack the bona fide doctor-patient relationship, which can leave the defendant without a defense. So, these are my concerns about this. I think these are legitimate concerns, and I think that they're definitely ripe for discussion.
Right. I have to say, High Times Cannabis Cup was just here 3-4 weeks ago. I'm sure you were aware of that. It surprised me, in all honesty, because Saturday morning we were setting up for the radio show because we did the live broadcast, and they had pulled a certification company in at the last minute to do certifications right there at the High Times Cannabis Cup. Would that be a situation that, also would maybe put patients at risk?
Well, it really is about the results of the certification, though. If something like this is done professionally and at a level that the staff can make sure that everything is done correctly, that nothing is misplaced, that patients aren't waiting for 5 or 6 hours before their appointments, and as long as there's a reasonable expectation of follow-up with the doctor locally, not 4 or 5 hours away, but locally, then sure, it can certainly be done. But if, like I said, if it's a numbers game and the staff and doctor interact with too many patients, sloppy workmanship is going to be the result. That is what ends up putting patients and their caregivers at risk legally.
Okay, I guess my question or response to that, or question to that response would be, was there an overwhelming amount of denial letters that came out of the last conference? Is there denial letters in every certification process? My understanding is a certain amount of patients from any place that they get their card from get denials for different reasons, improper paperwork, qualification, money issue on their check that they paid with. Was there an overwhelming amount of bad certs done during the last conference?
I can only speak to the ones that came to our particular attention.
Okay.
And we did fix a couple of dozen of applications and dealt with a couple of dozen denial letters.
I'd be happy to respond to that.
Yeah, I do want you to respond. So Ben, please do respond to that, because it's a question that I really want to know the answer to.
Here's the thing, and that's that Chronic Certification Center by Adam DeVaney. They do things pretty much the same way we do. They do things a little bit different, but they're not a primary care physician. So whenever you're not seeing your primary care physician, that's not as good. Now, you do get some rejections, and the way we handle it when we're in Traverse City or Grand Rapids is if someone gets has a problem with paperwork, we go back into the state for them with the corrections necessary. We see paperwork come in from many other certification clinics. No one's got it perfect. Usually the state's to blame for, not cooperating with and being nitpickers about the process. But the real truth of the matter is Adam DeVaney is mad because we're coming up into his area and certifying patients the same way he is. You know, so it's kind of like throwing stones in a glass house by filing a formal complaint. I mean, to me, that is just putting more patients at risk unnecessarily.
Okay, well, now that you said that, let me give Adam a chance to respond. Adam, their company's coming up. They're certifying patients in your area. Is that your issue?
Is this a market share issue? Is that the question?
Yeah, I guess that's that's how it's been presented. Is from their perspective, they think that you're upset because they're coming to your town and certifying.
Or is it a compliance issue with the bona fide relationship? So
I guess that's the question.
Clearly about the bona fide doctor-patient relationship. It's clearly about the fact that experience has proven that these conference certifications put patients at legal risk. We're the ones who live in this area. We're the ones that interact with the patient population in this region on a weekly basis. We're the ones that literally live with these patients. And when patients come to us and they say, look at my paperwork, I need you guys to look this over, I'm not sure that it's right, that concerns us. So this is not a market share issue.
Okay.
This is an issue of patient safety. That is the bottom line. It's always been the motto of our business. It's always been our driving principle that we strive to make real. That the
Right.
reality is that we have our patients in mind. And when a person comes in for just one weekend a year, and I went to the conference last year. The conference itself was great. I learned a lot. I met a lot of vendors. It was a fantastic experience. But when I see all of these certifications coming to us that were incorrectly filled out, that were incompletely filled out, that where the photograph for the ID wasn't up to snuff, when I see all these things, and then I start seeing the denial letters a month later, and they're coming to us and they want help, this is about protecting the patient population in our area. When I see that as a mandated reporter, I have no choice there.
Gotcha. Which, I can appreciate that you want to look out for patients. I think that's, that's admirable.
yeah,
for sure.
those are definite legitimate concerns. But mind you that we see those same concerns in your actual brick and mortar doctor certification center regardless. So, but understood.
Adam, I want to, we're coming to the end of the show, so we're going to, let Ben have a response to what you just said, and then, we're going to part ways, and I invite you both. Adam, I appreciate you being here. Ben, I appreciate you. I would love if you both could come into the studio towards the end of September, and we'll devote a complete show to this if you guys are interested in that. So I want to put that out there right now, but I'm going to give Ben the last word. Adam got to start. Ben, you get to finish. You got 2 minutes.
Okay. Well, I think that there's a lot of people out there trying to do things the right way, the best way they can, and I think that we work with good doctors. They're putting their license out on the line to help people get access to medical marijuana, and all of these physicians that are doing that should be applauded. Now, that being said, when we start fighting amongst ourselves and we start calling up the cops on our fellow caregivers and other fellow medical marijuana professionals, that's just not right. I mean, if someone's really doing something wrong, I can understand that, but Adam, you have failed to show how we're doing anything wrong, and after being investigated based off of your complaint, we're still in the court. So, I hope that, you learn from this experience, and, you got a reputation in your community that you want to keep intact. You don't want to, put other patients at risk by condemning the fact they've got a card, regardless of whether they saw a primary care physician, they've got it over the internet like you do at chronic certifications, by Skyping your patients, or being done in a hotel room. In the end, we all have to work together, and that's how we're going to beat the real opponent, the people that are against medical marijuana, like the Attorney General shooting.
Well said, well said. Once again, I thank you both so much for doing this show.
Discussion,
I really, really encourage you guys to set up a time towards the end of September where you could come in on the Saturday, and I will devote a whole show. Adam, thank you very much for your time. Ben, thank you very much for your time. I'm going to have to say goodbye now. And we're coming to the end of the show. We are headed into break, and we'll be right back with you.
The Skunk Works Show, powered by Iron Laboratories.
Folks, here's some food for thought. Every year, over 400,000 people die of illness related to tobacco use. Over 80,000 die from alcohol use. Over 30,000 die from reactions related to prescription medication. And more than 7,000 people die from the use of anti-inflammatory drugs such as aspirin. Aspirin. Do you know how many die from the use of marijuana? 0. No deaths can be directly linked to the use of cannabis. That makes it one of the safest substances available for medical use. Michigan Organic Solutions, Flint's premier medical marijuana consultants, is now offering compassionate doctor referrals. Get licensed for only $99. You only pay if you qualify. No medical records are required. Located at 3549 South North Highway, Suite 117, just across from the Dord Mall. Call 810-820-8953 or go online to make your appointment at www.miorganicsolutions.com. Consultations are free and your privacy is guaranteed. Log on now to www.miorganicsolutions.com.
The real estate market is moving full speed ahead, so don't be left behind. Remember Kim.
Hi, I'm Kim Nowak from Century 21 Town and Country, and I'm here to help you whether you're buying your first home or thinking of selling and moving on up. Let me guide you in the right direction. Call me at 248-835-2992. Again, it's 248-835-2992, and my focus will be on your needs. Remember Kim.
At Iron Laboratories, our mission is to apply the highest scientific standards to the testing of medical marijuana and derivative cannabis-based products. Iron Laboratories achieves this through the strict application of and adherence to methodologies that have been developed in research, regulatory, and academic settings. Consumer safety directs everything we do at Iron Laboratories. Our role as providers of product information to patients, caregivers, and producers is critical. The purity of the medicines that you put in your body is critically important, and we value the trust you put in us to evaluate and accurately report on these products. In addition, Iron Laboratories will continue to contribute to the industry knowledge base, setting benchmarks and establishing norms to create safer cannabis products. Give us a call at 248-313-9000 or visit our website at ironlaboratories.com. Again, that's 248-313-9000, ironlaboratories.com.
The Skunk Works Show, powered by Iron Laboratories.
All right, we are back. You set in with another episode of the Skunk Works Show. This has been a NOAC Media production. As always, we thank you for listening. My 420 nurses are going to take you out. Ladies, take it away.
Thank you for watching. Yeah, we're going to be at the conference this week. If you guys are going to be there, stop around and say hi to us. We might give you a free dab. Yeah.
You smell that?
What is it?
The Skunk Works Show, giving you a scent of the truth.
Live every Saturday from 4 to 5 p.m. on WFNT.
News from the 420 Underground.
It's the Skunk Works Show.